Welcome back to From the Source podcast. This is episode 14, and today we're going to be going in depth into why you should go to the gym. So I think we've touched on this in previous episodes if you've been listening, and we did speak about how if you weren't into the gym, there was other aspects of fitness you could get into, cycling, swimming, but today we're going to be talking about why the gym specifically should be a place where you do visit, whether it's once a week or, every other day. So the first little bit I think we're going to go into is, why is the gym an overwhelming place for some people? Why do you think that it puts people off? Because obviously we're into the gym, right? But some people, I've heard them say it, family or friends, the gym's not for me. It's not for me. I don't like the gym. And what is it that makes it like that?
It's not just because it's like a new place to some people. It's like a bit, I don't know, people feel vulnerable there. You're doing something in front of, if like you were just lifting the weights behind like closed doors or something, no one could see you. I think that'd be better for people. But you're doing it in like a big room. And no one is watching, are they? Like in like a commercial type gym, no one really watches. No one knows the newbie, kind of. Maybe not a face they've seen before. But you feel like everyone is watching you. And I think that's the bit that people are nervous to like drop the weight on themselves or lift it wrong. Social media probably doesn't help.
Yeah, you're in like a new place. So the fear of messing up or not knowing what to do or not knowing anybody.
I think sometimes like how you look, a lot, like mainly girls probably are wearing like tighter clothing. They're maybe not happy with their bodies and stuff like that. So I think it just would come down to people thinking like they're being watched. And
yeah. And when it's a new place, all your anxieties and your worries are at the forefront of your mind, aren't they? So that when you go to a new, a new shop, you've never been to the shop before, you don't know how it works, a new cafe, you kind of don't know what to do. Should I sit down or do I order at the desk, or I don't know if I like the food, so it might put you off, and we all love familiarity. So
but I think if you walked into say like a clothes shop, you can walk in, like the person on the desk could say hello to you, and you could kind of fake browse and then walk out if you're really uncomfortable. But like for the gym, you've got yourself dressed, you've gone in the change room, you've come out, you've gone and stood next to the specific equipment you're going to use, and then just gone, yeah, I'm good. Like no one's doing that.
But do you know what the fake browse is in the gym? It's the people who just go and walk on the treadmill.
Yeah.
They're not actually doing anything. They're just observing everyone else. So they go on the treadmill so that they can watch someone use the machine that they've been thinking about using, but they're too scared. So I know what I'll do. I'll walk because I know how to walk. And then obviously, you never actually get to the machine because you're always thinking, I'll do that next time. But I don't know, I always see newbies in the gym go straight for the treadmill because they know how to do that. Press start, walk.
Yeah, and then probably do that a few times until they feel comfortable enough to like get out of the walking area onto, the free weights area is like the last place you go to, isn't it? That's like advanced level. You pick a dumbbell up the wrong way, you'll get some meathead staring at you. So
yeah, but they don't. But they think this is
they
what
might
they're
have just
thinking.
glanced over.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shit, I'll put that back down. But they don't actually care. They could have been looking past you. So I think you progress from, I think you're right, in the treadmill, maybe to, it's got to be a bike, hasn't it?
A bike, or do you know like the machines where you've got like the little pin, and you can just move the pin. So for a fact you can put it on the top weight, and then you're going to be able to lift that because it's pretty much, there's no weight to it. It's like almost anti-gravity.
Yeah.
You just like throw it up and it just goes.
1.25 kilos. That'll do. Rep it out.
But then I guess you get a bit braver and braver, and eventually you start adding the weight, or you go on a new machine. There's some machines I've been in a gym before, and even when I was quite like, I thought I knew a lot about the gym, I'd go into a new gym and look at a new machine and look at it, think, how do you use this?
Yeah.
How do I even move the seat?
Some of them are a bit too technical, aren't they? that it's like, what am I doing? I don't know if the gym you went to, but there was a gym that I went to, like the bicep machine. Do you know, it was 2 separate handles.
Yeah.
But when you lifted it, you had to put your feet on 2 bars, and then the whole seat.
It's unnecessary, isn't it?
So you were lifting the plates or whatever with the pin, but as you were lifting it, your whole body was like tilting back like this. I can't even do it.
That.
I'll have to show you the video of someone doing it. But
yeah, I think people go a bit too extreme with making new machines, doing like crazy stuff. You know,
I shit myself the first time I used it. I thought it was broken or something.
Like a roller coaster.
Yeah, like I just want to bicep my arms. I don't want to feel sick at the same time.
Yeah.
So that does confuse people and overwhelm people. I think sometimes the amount of or lack of like PTs and stuff that do the inductions and that lot. You get some that are really good that'll show you everything, and by that point you're already embarrassed and just want to get on with it. Or you'll get one PT that'll just go, anyway, that's cardio, squat rack.
That's you need a good PT. And the thing is with PTs, you do get a loads of really good PTs. You know, there's so many PTs that I see on social media or just in general in real life. They're really good. But then you do get PTs who are like just a massive guy, and they're just like, you know, bouncing around the gym, and they don't look approachable. Not because they're massive, but just, you know, when you can kind of see someone's personality through their body language, and you think, you're not an approachable, smiley face, you know, nice guy. You look like you're going to punch someone, you know, so you wouldn't want to approach them and say, hey, can you just show me this machine? And that's what probably puts people off going to a PT, because they look a bit scary sometimes.
Yeah, and I think there's some gyms where the PTs don't look like they train at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you're going in there wanting to be better, look better, you know, live better. And then, you know, Big Fat Joe's PTing you. And you're like, am I really going to listen to this guy?
Yeah, you have to look. I think as a PT, it's a little bit superficial, but you have to look like you at least know what you're doing. You don't have to have like, biggest muscles and a six-pack, and, you know, you don't have to do that, but you just at least don't be overweight.
Yeah, I think you have to be specific to what your style of PT is. If you're a cardio-based PT, you wouldn't expect him to be absolutely massive and full of muscles. But if he was like a, you know, bodybuilding show PT, then you'd kind of expect him to back up what he's saying. But yeah, getting advice from some guy who looks horrendous.
Yeah, he just paid for his course, and then it's just a job.
Yeah, and he loves KFC, and he's saying how much he likes calories. I won't listen to him.
Yeah. I think it's hard for PTs now because you have to use social media, don't you? And then some PTs are really good with social media, and then other PTs maybe not so. And then they get a bad rep maybe. Or some PTs I see on Instagram try and be so out there, they end up just looking like just not very, I don't know, someone I wouldn't approach, you know.
I think what I've seen on social media recently is like different PTs try and out each other on social media. So, like, say you'll put a video out of like teaching people how to bench press to your followers, and then some other PT had put a video out about like mocking how you taught people. It's a lot of like tit for tat now.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to, like, I saw one that was like, oh, you want to listen to James Smith?
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that. Yeah.
Don't do steroids because you look like James Smith, and I'm from a guy who's clearly done steroids.
Yeah. I saw some stuff like that.
It's just for views and yeah, for clout.
James Smith built his whole persona on like taking the piss out of not necessarily other PTs, but like other areas of the fitness industry, and he did really well. But then when people try and do it to him, it's like, no, he did that, and it worked. You can't now do it to him because that's his whole idea that you're stealing.
Yeah, it's just copying. I think they rinse and repeat on his idea, but his delivery is just very cold, and I actually quite like him, to be fair.
Yeah, I like him.
Talks about like,
I think he's really funny.
Losing fat, and it's like eat less calories and stuff like that. Or he's had beef recently with loads of PTs about like fats in foods and stuff like that. It's just funny, but he admits what he's done in the past and what he's done wrong and right, and he just says it how it is.
Yeah, and you can see his personality through his content, which then makes him seem like you connect with him, you understand him, you know he's got a humorous like banter side that you could connect with, and if he was my PT, I think it'd be quite good, you know.
He's relatable.
Yeah.
And that works with people, especially at the start when they're first, you know, coming into gyms and stuff. They don't want to be intimidated by the big muscly guy or the really fit guy. They just want to go in, get the workout done and get out so they've got enough confidence to do it on their own. That's we've said this before, but that's kind of the idea of a PT.
Yeah, you don't want them forever.
No, and the idea of a good gym is to educate people on how to use stuff and that'll help people's confidence, and then they'll pass that on to people and refer them in. So
I think that's the cool thing about CrossFit is that you've got in a commercial gym PTs and in a CrossFit gym a coach, and like you call them coaches. In a normal gym you'd probably just call them a PT, and you expect them. Do you think? Maybe
I might be a bit harsh saying this, but some gyms and some PTs I'd just call them like fucking minders. Like babysitters.
Yeah.
They're there to
like if you go to what's like Pure Gym, yeah, they're there to like, I'm sorry if you work there, but they're there to like clean up, tidy up, put the weights back. And yeah, you might book in for like a PT, but for me, Pure Gym PTs, they're the ones that are not, they just don't seem approachable. And I'm generalizing here, but you know, I think CrossFit, you've got these coaches who are like guiding you and like bringing your confidence up, and it's all about you as a person, not just you in the gym, in a sense. And then in a commercial gym, it's like, this is how you bench press, and then you go home.
Well, I think like the Pure Gym classes are company-wide classes. They use them in every Pure Gym. So the PT teaching them is just like reading off a sheet or doing the same class as well.
Yeah.
Whereas, so there's no progression in a way. Whereas, you know, the gym we're at, I don't really do many of those like type CrossFit classes, more engine stuff, but it's an 8-week block or a 10-week or 12-week block. So you are building up. Whereas more Pure Gym type classes, it's this week we're doing sit-ups again. It's like, why? Because it's on the plan. From the company.
That's true.
And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been a bit harsh on Pure Gym here, but I
know,
like
yeah. Sorry, Pure Gym.
Like, there's no aspiration.
It's just because from our perspective, when you go to CrossFit, you can see what happens. You've got a coach and they're guiding you and they're helping you with your gym, but they're helping you with your confidence, they're helping you with your motivation. And then you don't get that in another gym because you could just get a PT who's getting paid by the hour. And then they, you know, have the little sheet and they write your name and then they just take you through a couple of machines and a few lifts and then you go.
Well, I think it's people like don't know what they're teaching. So like a CrossFit class and the classes we do, if I can't do burpee broad jumps, what's my alternative coach? And then they can tell you exactly what they can do instead. Whereas like you go to a Pure Gym class or like a JD gym class and stuff, and they'd have no idea because it's not on plan. You know, what is an alternative to a burpee broad jump? Well, just don't do it.
Yeah, just sit down.
Miss that station out. And it's like, right, okay.
Yeah, cool. It's not quite the same. You don't get the same treatment really, do you? But again, that's why you pay more for a CrossFit gym, because you get that. It's like reciprocated in what you pay. You get, you know, you get what you pay for. But why do you think people should work out in a gym, regardless of whether it's Pure Gym? You know, Pure Gym is good because I feel like we've absolutely ripped Pure Gym.
You butchered them. I just finished it off.
So say you are going Pure Gym, yeah, and it's got its benefits. And I used to I've been to a Pure Gym, I've been to the gym. I think they're all good. It's different, you know, it's different to CrossFit, but.
Oh, which one's the one with the capsule turnstile?
There's one
The gym.
The gym.
The
It's
gym.
called the gym.
Ah, right.
The
Sorry,
gym group.
I've been slagging the wrong one.
Oh,
I've been thinking of the gym.
oh man. Well, that's a different breed.
Yeah, same.
If you go to the
The gym group, that's what it's called. Yeah, shit. Sorry,
Yeah.
wrong one.
we won't get into that.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know,
So what I said before,
the gym
Just,
is like
just-
£3 a month.
yeah,
or
just
something.
apply that to the gym group, and that was what I meant.
Yeah.
I have no experience of pure gym. That's on you.
Yeah, I've ripped Pure
Yeah,
Gym. But say you are going to a gym, right? Whether it's CrossFit or Pure Gym or the gym group or whatever it is, all gyms are good because you go in for a reason. But what is that reason? So why can't you just, I think it's important to go to a gym, and I think you should definitely go running and cycling and swimming and do whatever. But why specifically should people go to a gym? What can you do there?
Lift weight. Lift weights, community, meet people, like blow off some steam. When I was younger, I used to do that with like weight lifting and stuff like that. Just slam some bars around, like legally, just chuck some stuff, not like launch plates, but you could deadlift and drop them and feel like you're getting rid of your anger and stuff like that. Just chucking 2.5. Like, fuck off. Like, yeah, lobbing around.
That is brilliant.
No, I wasn't doing that.
Let off some steam and just like get it.
I just go in, get a
Throw
barbell
everything.
and crack some guy around the head. Right, that was worth 20 quid a
That is
month.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go because there's choice, isn't there? So if you want to go on the punch bag, they probably got one. If you want to go in the, if you're lucky, they'll probably have a jacuzzi or a hot tub. Then obviously you've got the weights, and I think the big one is the weights. I think people massively underestimate that you go to the gym not to stand on the treadmill, because you can do that literally out the door. You go to lift weights to grow muscle.
Yeah, paying 25 quid a month to walk on a treadmill when, I've never understood that, like, to a point anyway, but you can just walk to the gym, exercise, and walk home.
Yeah.
Instead of walking for 40 minutes on the treadmill. Like,
So-
if you've done a workout beforehand and want to, like, cool down or stretch off, then, yeah, I'm all for that, but go to the gym and just walk for an hour on a 2% incline.
Yeah.
Just hike up a hill.
I know it's, and be outside do that. In fact, you've actually probably walked to your car, got in the car, drove to the gym, walked from the car to the gym, walked to the treadmill, and then walked. It's like you've already walked 5 times before you've walked.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do that. But I think people think that lifting weights and, going to the gym to do bicep curls and chest bench press is going to make you like big and bulky, and you don't want to look like that. But it's all about the muscle. I think healthy people have muscle, and if you don't have that muscle, then it's a downward kind of slope for you for health.
This has been your big one, hasn't it? You say this.
Yeah, I've said it a few times.
Say this a lot. Yeah.
I think because I know when I speak to people about gym, and then they always say, I just don't want to get big. And it's not about that, though. You're not going to get big from doing like a few presses.
Well, I think probably social media again plays a big role in that. Is that most of the videos or pictures you see is of big men or big women, or like toned, very toned. And that's what people think is like. You can see a muscly guy and do one set on the bench, and people watch that video and go, definitely not benching over 100 kilos. I'll have a massive chest. It's like, it takes a while to do that.
Yeah, it takes years.
Yeah, and it's different. I think education sometimes it's do different reps. You do different types of the bar. You're not going to get big. You're generally just going to get strong, or fitter, and I think that's the thing that people need to understand. Is it lifting weights is not the be all and end all for being massive.
Yeah,
it's just that bit of strength, get a bit of adrenaline kick in, get that testosterone going, male side, and just feel better.
You said community as well, didn't you? When we touched on that, you said community is a big one. Because I think when you go to a gym, you are surrounded by people that, you might meet new people, but you're surrounded by people who are a bit like you. So if you're starting out in the gym, there'll be someone else on probably the same day who also doesn't know what they're doing. And then eventually you'll know what you're doing, and you might speak to someone and give them some advice. And then before you know it, you're friends. And, like we met at the gym. So you can build a friendship, a business just from going to a gym and stepping foot in that room.
I think it's interesting when you watch new people come to the gym. And I've seen it loads of times since the gym's opened, and they come in really nervous. And then after a few classes, they're a bit more confident. They start like showing us who they are. And then a new person joins, and then that new person then goes straight to the second last new person, whatever. And they then become close because they've got something in common, that they're both the newest people there.
Yeah.
And then you just start chatting to people. And like you said, we met in the gym and stuff just from going a few times. I was like, oh, I've seen him at a class before. Then next time he's there, and then start chatting. And then that happens. You never know who you meet. It's like a bag of Revels at the gym, isn't it?
Yeah. You just don't want to get the coffee one. Even though I like the
I
coffee Revel.
ones, yeah.
Remember that advert that you just used to make it out like
Yeah.
they were horrible? But
Yeah, I like the coffee ones.
no, it's like a bag of Revels. You've got all these different people from different walks of life. But that's accurate for a CrossFit style gym. But for a commercial gym, you don't always get that. Like for just going to a normal gym, you don't always get that community feel. You might have a few people. I think guys have it where you see the same person in the gym. A few days go by, a few weeks go by, and eventually you start like nodding at them. Like, you're right. And then they might ask you to spot them now and again, or you might say to them like, how's your day or whatever. And you're like kind of mates, but you're not really. It probably takes a lot longer to do that at a commercial normal gym than like a CrossFit-y, high Roxy style.
I remember when I was at DW, and they back then used to do like circuit classes and stuff, and literally everyone would stand outside the gym hall or whatever it was called before 6 o'clock. PT would come in, open the doors, everyone would pile in, everyone would get a dumbbell and mat and just stand there, just waiting
in silence
for the PT to talk. You do the class for 40, 50 minutes. And I think sometimes you're like, in a way, you're bonding next to someone, like sweating your bollocks off, both in the same like amount of pain, but then you never talk to each other. Class would go, fold all your stuff away, put it away, and everyone would just disperse to the changing rooms.
That's sad, that, isn't it?
That's a commercial gym, and like 20 people have just not said a word to each other apart from stare straight at a PT. Whereas, like you're saying, with the CrossFit type gyms that I've found, is that you can't, half the time it's hard to actually work out sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
people just won't stop talking.
Yeah, and I don't think you get that in a lot of places. I mean, I'm just thinking about the gyms that I know of, maybe from around where we live or that I follow online, and then the ones that I follow create this big community, and they do lots of stuff together, and they do like events, and they do run clubs, and they do days or open gym or whatever, and then I don't know, like going to the gym for some people is just, maybe it's, they want the quiet and peace. Maybe it's a bit more like for their mental clarity. They want like to zone out for the day. I know I used to think when I've had a busy day at work and I used to go to Bannatynes, I just used to put my headphones in and just like zone out for an hour and not want to talk. But in the same way that you put your headphones in and zone out, you can actually zone out by talking to someone as well. And I think that's what our gym's really good for, is you zone out by interacting with other people and just chatting and having a laugh. And I could get the same satisfaction from just putting my headphones in and doing my own thing, but I know which one I'd rather choose, and that's why I go to the CrossFit style gym.
Yeah, I was thinking back to when I was younger doing that, just putting my headphones in, walking straight into the gym where I wanted to go around all the exercises I want to do and just leave. And then sometimes I get in the car and feel, oh, that feels good. Like you're saying, chuck weights about, you feel good. But then sometimes it's like, I had a shit day at work and someone's bothered me, and then I've not had to talk to anyone and release that. You go home with those same feelings, but go to a CrossFit gym and it seems like, someone could just chat to you for like 10 minutes and you've feeling so much better about it. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I think the key thing is, if people are doing what works for them, then that's good. You know, it doesn't really matter what you choose as long as it works for you. But the common theme is if you're working out, it's helping with your mental health. You know, I think people just underestimate the power of lifting a weight. I think the release you get from just literally lifting a weight or like absolutely ragging the echo bike or just running on the treadmill or running outside. But if we're talking about gyms, just having that release, you feel amazing. And you kind of, in that moment, you're not thinking about all them stresses. You know, when you are, I don't know, lifting a barbell above your head, you actually can't think about all the things that you're stressed about. Because if you do, that's falling on your head and then you're going to be injured. So it's underestimated, I think. I think a lot of people talk about it like go to the gym and work out because it makes you feel better. But if you don't do that or you don't do it often, that's why I go so much, because I get that release. And I don't really have many things that are going on that are stressful, but when things do stress me out or things get overwhelming, I can just go to the gym and for an hour, nothing's bothering me.
Yeah, you're not looking at your phone. You're not getting shit from whatever's giving you shit at the time. You can just think, yeah, get on the echo bike. You'll soon forget about all your problems.
Yeah.
Because you'll get off and wonder what you're even asked about half the time. But yeah, you can't beat a good workout at the gym. And I think sometimes you have that community. You could just go to a class. You know, you don't have to talk to anyone, but you're around people. And then afterwards you feel better. You probably do start talking to people. And then you get back in your car and you drive home and you're like, oh, that was all right, that.
Yeah, you always feel good or proud that you've done it. You know, even if it was an awful workout and it's all gone wrong and you didn't make your PR or whatever it is, you always feel good that you've done it. You know, you never like absolutely regret that you've done that workout.
I always try my best to get that workout in at the gym or out of the gym, even when I don't want to, because I see it as like maybe a bit of a test to go, if you do this, you might get a little bit better. Because it could just be like, I'm not arsed today, you had a shit day at work, I'm not going. And go to the gym and like hit a PR or something and be like, shit, I actually might never have got that today if I had not come.
You can use it for energy.
Yeah, like a bit of anger or something. Yeah, your missus dumped you, like straight to the gym. Bench press PR incoming.
You're buzzing because she's dumped you because you know you're going for like a 120. Yeah, but
you've got to try and turn it around.
Yeah.
And I think that's sometimes what the gym does. Like you said, you just block out everything else because like you can't not think about that weight above your head. You can't be worrying about what you're going to have for tea when you've got like 60 kilos above your head.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, I think. You just zone out, but you're so focused on the gym. Like you're not zoned out of everything, but you're zoned out of all your stress and all your to-do lists.
And I think humans are creatures of habit. So you go twice, 3 times a week to the gym. And you could do that for a few weeks. Before you know it, you're going 4 times. Or you're doing 4 times, going out for like a walk with some people from the gym. You meet new people. Before you know it, you've created different habits that are better than what you did before you started.
Yeah. I actually like, if I don't go to the gym, if I can't go to the gym 4 times in a week, or at least do some form of like high intensity exercise 4 times a week, I start to get stressed that I'm not going to get to the gym. That becomes a stress.
I get cranky within myself. I know I do. Like sometimes all it takes is that one meeting to run over a little bit, and you go, "Oh, I planned on going to the gym after this, and I know now traffic's going to be a bit late. I'm going to miss that class at 6 o'clock. Fuck's sake!" Like, so you get a bit like angsty, don't you?
You want to you want to get it in.
Yeah,
because you really value it and prioritize it.
Because if I don't do it now, I've got other things to do when I get home, so I'm not going to be able to do that either. Oh, God's sake, I don't want to go out late running.
Yeah.
So you find the time.
Yeah, you always find the time.
But I do get cranky.
Because I'll say to people, I don't have time, I can't do that, but I'm going to the gym. And the reason why I can't go is because I'm going to the gym. And it's like, well, I do have time, but instead of choosing you, I've chosen the gym because I need to get it in because it makes me feel good and it's important in my life, you know?
You're making that effort for something good as well.
Yeah, it's funny how it can slowly go from stepping foot in the gym one day, because I was quite young when I went to the first gym to work out, but stepped foot in the gym and I probably went straight for the treadmill and I didn't know what I was doing, to now, being like, I have to get to the gym now. I have to get there because it's a priority for me.
Well, we could just walk into any gym in the world in terms of and just have that confidence just to walk in and go straight over to that squat rack or start cleaning or something, which is more of a complex movement, because you've just got that experience.
Just from doing it and doing it and doing it. And I think,
because you're not bothered then. You know what gyms are like. Everyone's going to look at you and go, oh, them two are new. But you're not bothered what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Because then all you got to do is do like a PR clean or something more than them, and they're like, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell if someone's confident in the gym because they just don't care. They walk straight over to the thing and just set it up and do it. And then as soon as they've done that, they go somewhere else and do the same thing again. I think, when someone's nervous in the gym, because you can just tell they're so anxious. You can almost like feel if someone's new in the gym, because they give off this whole vibe of awkwardness, but eventually that disappears.
Yeah.
Quicker than you think.
And that's a nice thing to watch with people when they first join. After they've been there for a while. And you think, God, I remember when you were like... And then it's just funny to talk to them about. Do you remember you come in and you were like, oh, I'm unsure about these movements. Now look at you.
Yeah, like it's nice that.
Remember when you used to stand by the door and like you wouldn't really come in and everyone was introducing themselves in a class and you're like, oh, I'm new.
Yeah.
And now we can't shut you up.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool. I think you actually watch people grow, and the gym is one place you actually can measure someone's growth, whether it's confidence or lifts or measurements. You see them one day, and then like 6 weeks later you see them and they're a different person just because they've been to the gym. And it's an interesting topic actually. Confidence in general grows from going to the gym. I think there's nothing more scary than if you've never lifted a weight, like if you've never squatted on a squat rack without a spot, without a Smith machine type thing, and then you've got an open bar and you just squat. There's nothing more scary than that for the first time, because you just think, well, what if I mess up and I fall? But then a week later, because they've done it once, you're watching someone and they can do it again, and now they're putting weights on, and now they're really buzzing to get back to the gym to do it again. So cool.
Yeah, it is interesting watching people develop, and I think they say someone come like really body conscious about what they look like. We're not bothered what they look like, but them inside is like, oh my God, like I don't feel confident. But then they come to the gym for 6 weeks, and then to us again, they might not have changed, but they've come for 6 weeks and they look in the mirror and they're like, this little bit's in, I feel better, I'm a bit stronger and stuff like that. And the confidence is just completely different.
Yeah, I think just the confidence is so cool, because I don't know what it is about, even if you don't even see yourself getting better, you see people's personality and they get like proud of themselves, or they just start talking more, and the way they walk is a bit better. And I think it's because they just got this power,
It's that aura or whatever it is around them. They're loving life, and they want to get their top off and stuff because they feel good.
Yeah, and even just like lifting weights, I think gives people a boost. Like, there's nothing more powerful, really, is there, than like pushing some heavy weight or just like throwing the weight, and you've like done it, and then it's like I think it reminds people of like a caveman-y type, like raw, like you just got everything and just all this power, and then you just feel good after it,
Someone says you can't lift that, and you go, watch this, and you lift it, and you're like,
yeah, you literally like, I don't know, it's very empowering, I guess, and that's what gives you the confidence, and it also gives you confidence when you couldn't do something, and then a few weeks later you can in the gym. So you couldn't get the bench press weight, and you couldn't squat that weight, and then all of a sudden you can, and you're like, whoa, getting stronger, I'm getting fitter, you know.
Feel better, look better.
Yeah. And you do look better. You lose weight if you need to lose weight, or you put on muscle, or you start like putting effort into your appearance because you're looking a bit better, and you smile more, you know, because you're just buzzing.
Yeah, you do look good. It is nice to see, but confidence will play a massive role in people joining the gym, going to classes at the gym. I think they just need that encouragement when they first start from whoever, like a better introduction, people to go with, nicer classes.
Yeah, it's always overwhelming at first.
But it's just the same as getting a new job, or, I don't know, public speaking for the first time, or, I don't know, even get like a new bald haircut or something.
Yeah, that's brave. You got to
be brave. You got to be ballsy, because like everyone's looking at you like, what a knobhead.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm rocking this.
Yeah.
I'm proud. It's just about
doing it for the first time.
Yeah, it's overthinking half the time. You think that people are watching at the gym, but no one cares. Like, no good gym with good people in actually cares. I mean, cares to a point what you're doing. Obviously, they want you to be safe, but they're there to help you. They're not there to criticize you. If you only lift 5 kilos and I lift 50, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you can still do the movement.
It's that thing of everyone thinks that everyone's looking at them. But if everyone's thinking that everyone's looking at them, everyone's just looking at themselves, you know. If I was thinking, oh God, I don't want to go in there because everyone's going to look at me, like everyone's looking at me now, then I'm thinking that. So that means that you're thinking everyone's looking at you, and that means that she's thinking everyone's looking at her, and so on and so on. So actually nobody's looking at anyone apart from themselves. So you just have to think, like, no one's going to look at me, I'm just going to go and try it. And I might fail and I might drop it, but I tried.
What's the worst that can happen, really?
Even just if you're in the gym and you want to do something, you just ask someone. If you're not sure, you just say, excuse me, what do you do on this? Because I bet you, the person you ask will say, oh God, I didn't know how to do that the other day, but I figured it out.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's a big thing in a gym for people to go up to others.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Like, imagine going up to a guy for the first time and go, hi mate, can you just spot us? And you've picked like the nervous new guy.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
like 10 kg on the bar.
Yeah. And he's trying not to laugh, lifting like 10 kilos.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. If it's a nice gym with nice people, they'll be like, course I will, mate. And then they'll help you out, and might give you some tips, or they might just, spot you and then say, have a nice day and go away. But I think it's so, you think that everyone's going to care, but everyone just cares about themselves. They don't care about your little weight, you know, your little 10 kg.
Just want to help each other out. It's weird what the brain does. Because I could be looking at you from across the gym like that, squinting, but I ain't got my glasses on. But to you, who's that fucking weirdo looking at me over there? But I'm actually trying to watch the telly that's behind you.
Yeah.
But you're like all anxious anyway, and you don't even know there's a telly behind you.
Yeah.
Or I start pointing.
It's so funny. We do it. Humans do it all the time. Like, you think that everyone is going to look at you in a certain way, but they're really not. And when you realise that, that's what lets your confidence grow. I think that's what confidence is to an extent, is like your ability to not care so much. So if you're confident at something, you don't really care if it goes wrong, because you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So in the gym, I can put like the heaviest weight for me on and know that if I drop that weight, I don't care. But someone else might be like, God, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that weight because I'll drop it.
Well, that's why people don't get PBs though. Because they can do 90 loads, but to do 100, it's like, oh, I'm not doing that because I might fail.
And that's your lack of confidence, because you're scared of messing up, because you don't know what to say when you mess up, or you don't know what to do, or you don't know what people will say, and everyone will just be like, oh, you nearly got it.
Well, it's excuse city, isn't it? Everyone's already got the excuse loaded. Like, they've done 90 kilos for 6 weeks. Try 100. Oh, well, got a bad back, big number. There's not enough plates. I ain't got enough time.
Yeah.
Loads of things. Just try it once so you know what it feels like. Oh, you can't lift it right, but next week,
give
it a go.
that's the cool thing about the gym, I guess. That's what keeps you going, is you can always progress. There's always more weight. There's always like a better way of the movement, or there's a better way you can lift, or there's another PR, or there's a faster time you can get. That's what probably keeps you entertained and stops you from getting bored, is that you can always go like one kilogram more.
Yeah.
You know,
or be the best in the class and consistently be the best. And yeah, put yourself around nice people in an environment that's going to make you better in itself, and you'll thrive. And your confidence will just, one day, like you said, you'll just be a different person. They'll be like, who the hell's this?
Yeah, it's cool that.
Because this little mouse came in 6 weeks ago, and now, you know, you're now showing people how to do stuff. And it's just nice to see.
It's nice watching it.
Yeah.
All right then, so if people are going into the gym, what would the one exercise be that you'd tell them to do or implement into their plan? Just one exercise, like one move.
I'd say a back squat.
Yeah. I was going to say it would either be like a squat or a deadlift.
So the only reason I didn't say deadlift is because I think there's more chance of people picking the deadlift up wrong than squatting wrong.
Who did that the other day?
No, I do it with dumbbells.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but that was just pure laziness.
Sam put his back out.
Yeah, it's all right now.
Picking up a dumbbell.
Lazily picked it up because I thought, well, I can pick them up anyway, and I literally just picked them up the laziest way possible. As soon
like
as I
arched back a bit.
Arched back.
Yeah.
I didn't even put all fingers around it. I picked up with like 2 and 3 fingers and just like, I can't even do it. But and as soon as I got halfway up to the top, I was like, fuck my back.
Yeah, so you're probably more likely to injure yourself on a deadlift.
Yeah.
But if you was going to, I suppose if you was a newbie in the gym as well, you probably wouldn't want to go and deadlift. Cause it's quite everyone watches the deadlifters because they want to increase the weight.
But I would say do a back squat, empty barbell, put like a bench or a box behind you, obviously put it on your back, and literally just squat down and sit down like you would on a chair and stand up. And that's the basics of a squat, really.
Yeah.
Not to get too technical, and practice that. And I think like having strong legs, hips, core, is probably a good base foundation to have.
Yeah, that's good actually. I like that.
Because like, if for like a deadlift, there's, bars got to be near your shins, like straight up in front of your knees, like good back position, head, right grip. Some people get the grip wrong, and every single time people go way too heavy on it. I used to do it. You do like say 100 kilos, you think, oh, that feels really good. Let's just up it to like 140, put a weight belt on.
Yeah.
You do it, and then you take the weight belt off, and you'd be like,
yeah.
Like, I think everyone's done it.
Too much too soon.
You're like, yeah. So I think with a squat, that would be mine.
Mine, all right then, I'm changing mine. So I've thought about 2 here. I thought about dumbbell lunges, like walking lunges, because I thought grip strength, stability, balance, and then obviously your legs. But then I'd actually go burpee, because I was just like thinking.
I was thinking more weight, like something with a weight.
Yeah, I suppose you can do burpees anywhere. So then you could say, well, I wouldn't need to be in the gym. But if you was a newbie, I think burpees would be like a really good, pretty much,
Generally, they're probably one of the worst exercises to do for like making you blow up and your cardio and stuff. But I don't think you can beat being able to get on the floor and get back up quickly.
Yeah, with the jump, like you've got to jump,
yeah.
But like burpee. But then, maybe walking lunges, just get 2 dumbbells and lunge, walk like 10 steps and then turn around and do the same back. Or burpee, I'd say. I think burpee's like pretty much your full body. You're hitting your legs, you're hitting your chest, you're hitting your front shoulders, your arms, and you're getting out of breath. But for someone new in the gym, they're probably like, I'm not doing burpees.
I might change mine to like a trio pack of exercises, all body weight, pull up, press up, and
sit up.
Yeah, I was going to say sit up or air squat. Might be 4. Like, I think they're the core. If you can't do them,
prioritize them.
If you're not strong enough to lift your own body, I think maybe chuck a burpee, and then if you're not strong enough to push yourself up off the floor, like you have to be able to lift your own body weight to start with. Because then if you can't lift your own body weight, which is whatever it is, you're never going to be able to lift.
Yeah, you need to
weight. And that the barbell or dumbbells are something that are out of your control. Like they're not connected to your body.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's true. Something that people underestimate as well is like being in control of your body. So doing a press up is hard for a lot of people, but getting to that point where you can do a push up or a press up and then a pull up like so hard, but getting to a point where you can pull your body weight up. It takes people a long time to do that, but you have to graft to get it, to get to it. Some people are really like, I think men in particular are really just fortunate that their body type is like they're able to get at one or
naturally
two.
Strong, though, aren't you?
Girls tend to have it a bit harder, but loads of girls can do pull-ups.
Girls, I think are better at squatting.
You had to get that in, didn't you?
No, they actually are. I think.
Yeah. Right, well, that's the end of the podcast.
Oh, God. I realised as soon as I said that, I was like, why did you say that?
No, they are. Like,
but
men are good at certain movements and women are good at certain movements because it's like your body type or, your muscle types. Like, men have big shoulders and big backs, but women don't. They have, like...
Go on. Go on.
It's ridiculous.
Grow up, Leah.
Grow up.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. Like men are like good for certain movements, and women are good at other movements in the gym. And then it's funny that that's what you prioritize as well. Like men want to get like a big chest, and like a big back,
that's
and
macho
then
stuff.
Girls want to get like the bum and like the nice legs. And obviously nowadays you can kind of go like, well, you're just aiming to get like a fit body, a good, healthy, physically fit body. But no, I think
those are a good set of exercises. I think.
Yeah.
Pick from any of them.
Yeah.
As a starter, and you can do them. I think you could do most of those from the comfort of your own home to get that little bit of confidence before you walk into the gym. I think that might help you as well.
Yeah, like just smash the burpees at home.
You're not a complete newbie walking into the gym. You can do maybe a pull-up, or you've tried them, or a press-up.
Yeah.
And then you do them in a gym environment.
Yeah. And I think we always end on something similar, but like, just do it. It's always like a case of, you can't really give people advice, can you? You can just give your perspective. So when you tell people something and you kind of giving them advice on how can you go to the gym, like you can't, you just have to go. And you have to feel a bit awkward and you have to feel a little bit embarrassed, and you're going to drop the weight and everyone's going to look at you, but then they're going to look away 2 seconds later and they won't care. And eventually you'll get really, really good at going to the gym. It'll become a habit. But it's hard to give people advice. I think sometimes you kind of have to let them mess up a little bit.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just want to constantly hear advice off everyone and never do it. Consume loads of information. You have to action it at some point.
Yeah, you have to do it, don't you? You have to be the person that has done it and then gives advice to someone else.
Yeah,
and then you can say, look, you just got to try it.
Yeah,
Don't take advice off people that have never done it.
Yeah.
Because that's just pointless. You'll get a lot of people with silent opinions.
Yeah.
But just go and...
Backseat drivers.
You don't like bench pressing, don't do bench press. You don't have to specifically just train your chest to have a strong chest. You can do loads of things.
Yeah, that's why the gym's good. There's so much variety.
Do burpees. You get a big chest. You're just constantly pushing your chest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Loads of exercises.
That was a funny one, that. I like that.
I just started thinking about bums.
Yeah.
Got to admit that.
Classic.
Yeah, I could see it in your eyes.
Well, if you're still here and you're not yet following us on social media, we've got Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We're on YouTube. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we're doing loads at the minute. I mean, we're doing the podcast, we're doing workouts. So I'm sure if you're watching this or listening to this somewhere, then help us out and just give us a follow or a like or a comment. It does mean a lot to us because it helps us out. It grows engagement, and I mean, we appreciate it in advance. So after this, you know what to do. We'll catch you in the next one.
See you in the next one.